I saw this picture on Pinterest, and for some reason, I really wanted to be there. In that cold, frozen room. It looks like even time would be frozen in that room. So I decided to build a house in The Sims 4 inspired by it. I saw a couple more pictures with snow on the inside of the rooms. Since that, Pinterest figured it out that I loved it. Maybe because I kept staring at it. And I also saw a picture of Bloody Red River on Pinterest, so we're gonna combine two ideas. Most of my build ideas for The Sims 4 come from random pictures from Pinterest. I see something, think about it for way longer than normal person should think about bloody rivers, snow in the sink, or medieval villages. And in the effort to get it out of my head, I make videos where I build and yap about it. This should really be introduction to my whole channel. I'm building in the world of Snowy Escape on that lot that always has snow. I forget how much I like Snowy Escape world, and I didn't play it with this pack for a while, but winter feels like appropriate time to do it. Maybe I even try to do a small let's play with wintry Christmassy vibes, but that's for another video. I started my build by making a river. This whole landscaping looks really grand, but actually really easy to do. I just basically drew a river and spammed pine trees everywhere. Those pine trees come from debug from various different packs. I wanted red river, like on the picture, bloody red. I wanted to look concerning, like if you ever to stumble upon something like that in the forest, you would be concerned. You would be thinking like, why is this water that red? Is it high in iron or something? Or should I be running for my life right now? But unfortunately I couldn't make it that red. Maybe some packs in The Sims 4 have really red water, maybe vampires. I don't know, I don't own that pack. All I had is base game Dreaming of Water swatch. It looks purple in the menu. It looks red in the world view, manage worlds view, map, in the map view. But it looks just dark in the game mode, unfortunately. It has a little bit of reddish tone, but not like scary rich red color. I made main structure of the house. It's not very big house. It has 2 floors and it made basically for one person. It has 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom, but you can fit 2 people because it has a double bed. But I intended it to be a house for 1 person because I intended to be kind of questionable house. Suspicious house. Suspicious is the right word. As I said in the very beginning, my main inspiration is pictures with snow on inside of rooms, houses, buildings. On those pictures you think that probably it's abandoned or maybe been left for a while with window accidentally being opened. I wanted to recreate that vibe in this house, but nothing in this house tells that it's been abandoned or even left unattended for a long time, except the snow. Like you come inside, you see the snow, you think, or it's abandoned house, or maybe owner left it for a while and windows, somehow all of the windows been left open, windows and doors. But then you realize that everything else in this house seems normal. It seems lived in. It's almost like owner of the house wanted this snow on inside. To create open doors, I used arches and placed doors not on the walls but just like freely. Some of them I rotated using tool mod, and some of them I just placed on diagonal walls and then deleted them. Both options work fine. It's just without tool mod you can only do 45-degree angle. Rotating them with tool mod was kind of tricky because I'm bad at understanding math I guess when I type the number of the angle, it doesn't meant anything visually in my brain. I just needed to type random numbers and see what it would look like, how it would rotate the door. It sounds very weird. Probably it sounds even worse because English is very clearly not my first language. But I get it done. That's what's important. I rotated the doors, I placed them. To place doors not on the walls, you need delete surrounding walls, so doors wouldn't stick to them. It's not that hard, a little bit tedious. It's a little bit easier with Windows because I decided to use windows that already open and not torture myself. I'm using windows from Jungle Adventure Pack because they have both open and closed options. I also added 2 balconies on the second floor, only one of them functional, and obviously has an open door. And on the balcony I actually placed door just using diagonal wall because I had enough of tool mod. I wanted this whole house to look very cold, so I chose blue shade of brick for this house, which is not the swatch I would usually go for. After that I spammed my pine trees everywhere. I took them from different packs so they wouldn't be like the same exact pine trees, just copy and pasted. But because I did that, in live mode they move in different patterns, which is mildly bothers me. Some of them move faster than others, which doesn't make sense, I think. I made path out of stepping stones from debug because this is the only path that will show up on the snow. If I were to use train paint, it wouldn't show up. And also, in attempt to make river more red, I added lights inside. I took a bunch of outdoor lights, made them red and put them in the river. It's only visible during the night, but it does creates really pretty and spooky effect. This river not just red, it also glowing red. After that I finally moved onto inside. Initially I wanted to make this house, at least first floor of this house, open concept, like kitchen, dining, living room all be in the same room. I quickly scrapped that. I think open concept is more of the modern houses thing. I wanted this house to look a little older, not like ancient house, on the older side. I don't have a very clear idea of the person who lives there, but I definitely think that this place is inhabited by someone or something who really likes cold and snow to the point where they want them inside of the house. Kitchen in this house has diagonal walls, which is always a problem in the kitchen because we don't have cabinets for diagonal walls that would connect seamlessly with straight walls, so cabinets clip in each other, but there are enough cabinets to make this kitchen functional. I actually initially didn't plan to make this house functional, which I know sounds weird. Like, why would you make a build? I wanted to make this build for aesthetics, for this cold wintry vibe. I wanted you to look at it and feel like you would get frostbite if you come inside. Like, it's colder than outside. Pretty much on accident I made this kitchen functional. The reason why I thought that I wouldn't be able to make this functional because of all of the snow piles that I planned to add. And when I realized that kitchen is functional, I decided that I may as well make the rest of the house functional too. So after I made layout changes and added walls separating living room from dining room and from kitchen, and made back door also opened, we will have a little outside dining area at the end. I started working on the kitchen. I ended up using countertops with marble. Marble looks cold to me. And I made something that looks like kitchen island, but actually probably just a table, out of stone pedestals. I think they're from Jungle Adventure. I made them smaller using square bracket keys, but that made placing things on them a little bit tricky. So first I dug up all the clutter pieces from the menu that I want to use, and then I took shelf that I usually use for these purposes. This shelf is from base game. It in the bathroom clutter category usually, and actually used to be not functional shelf. It used to have no slots on it, but now it's very functional shelf for me. I place it on the same height that my stone island piece is, and then I move those stone pedestals out of the way because they still have slots on the old height. And to know where it was and where it would be when I move it back, I placed 4 of these lamps just to mark the corners of these stone pedestals. I place all the objects the way I want them to be and just move pedestals back. And boom, it looks like it all stands on these pedestals. But slots are still there and your Sims might use them for dirty dishes. And after that, I finally can move on to the most interesting part of this video, snow. I'm literally going to debug menu and taking a piles of snow and placing them on the side of the house to make it look like there was a snowstorm at some point and it blew all the snow on the inside. So I placed snow piles next to the open windows or open doors. You may notice that I use the exact same snow pile over and over, and you may think that there are more of them in the debug menu, and there are more of them, but this one is the only one that does not affect it but by outside lighting when being on inside. All the rest of them will have the lighting from outside even if you place them inside of the room. I don't know why this one is special, but I'm glad that they have at least one. So I placing it everywhere, shrinking it, rotating it, and doing my best to make it look like it's all different piles of snow and not just exact same one over and over again. So in the kitchen, I place in the snow next to 2 open windows, and then I place piles of snow next to both of open doors on the first floor. There is just a lot of tool mod involved here, changing size, finding the perfect height to place it in when I want to place it on countertop. And I'm also changing the color of the lighting in this house. If you click on the light source, you can choose the color and the intensity of the lighting. I'm choosing purplish color of the lighting and I'm making it a little bit dimmer. And I love how cold and eerie it makes this house feel. And I playtested my kitchen, realized that it actually works surprisingly, and then moved on to dining room. I really like this dining table setup that I did. I used only 3 chairs that clipping onto, slotted onto the table. And then there is armchair and rocking chair. I love this mismatched cozy look. I put desert lux kit curtains in the dining room. It's like the only curtains I use in this game just because they good and simple and come in all wall heights, and they have a curtain rod that you can add. I added a trash bin on outside of the kitchen because I didn't have space on the side of the kitchen, but I think it looks okay in the dining room. I shrank it a little bit, and trash bins are functional when you shrink them once. Maybe even if you shrink them more, but I think then they start to look a little odd, like a kid's bucket for playing in the sand. I also added a little stool next to this big storage cabinet that I definitely know how it's called. I wanted to make it look like somebody needs a stool to reach to the top shelf. Then I moved on to the living room, and living room probably has the most snow of all rooms. I also placed snow close to the fireplace, both to indicate that this fireplace never turns on, and with the idea that snow could fall through chimney. I think I don't know how chimneys work from inside. Most of this house is in white on or really light beige tones, but I'm trying to add a little color here and there to make it to look like a house and not a coloring book that not been colored yet. After that, I moved on to the second floor where we have bedroom, bathroom, and like landing areas that I made into almost like home office. Because I don't have really clear picture of who lives here, I feel like bedroom turned out a little bit on a generic side. I'm interested in your interpretation. Who could possibly live here? I used a base game bed in the bedroom and these side tables with glass, and glass looks frosted, which is perfect. I also made a reading nook in this bedroom. I put armchair in next to the window, exact same armchairs that I used downstairs, so they look like they maybe been bought as a pair, but then dragged around the house and ended up in different places. People move furniture around their homes when they live in them. Furniture doesn't stay in sets. I added this cart with books from Get to Work. I love this object. In the end, I added snow next to the open door to the balcony, and I also added snow onto the balcony from outside. And as for balcony furniture, I only added one bench and a telescope, and also some snow on the bench. Then I moved on to furnishing the landing area. I put here this tall shelf from Eco Lifestyle with blankets and pillows just for some storage space. I also added a couch in here and a bookshelves. These bookshelves from Crystal Creations, I really like them because one of them has a ladder. It always looks very romantic, very dark academia or winter academia per se. This is an aesthetic that I saw a lot actually, and I feel like this whole house very fits into winter academia category. And between those bookshelves I added table and a chair for a study nook, a home office, something like that. Last room in this house is a bathroom, which is very clearly a bathtub bathroom. It's really big. I decided to put laundry in here, but I didn't want to put washer and dryer. I'm just now realizing my mistake that I didn't put a clothing line in this build, and I uploaded it to the gallery already. If you download this build, please add clothing line because you wouldn't have a place to dry your clothes, or just delete washing tub and laundry basket if you don't want to do laundry entirely, which is fair. The last thing that I did is back porch. I just fenced it in, put the stairs, and added a picnic table as a little outside dining area. And this is all for this snowy cottage. I don't know how I'm going to call this video or this house. I called it the Cottage of Snow on the gallery with a description who left the windows open, which I think really fitting. Anyways, I hope you like it as much as I do. I hope it make you feel cold and make you want a hot tea or maybe hot chocolate. And I would be very interested to read your ideas about who could possibly live here. This is all that I have for you for today. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And I see you in the next one. Bye!